The following is a class on the Nectar of Devotion, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-vedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 26, 1972, in Bombay, India.
Swami took advantage of his brother's personal money, which had been deposited with a village banker, and escaped from the prison of Hussain Shah. In this way, both brothers joined Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami first met Lord Chaitanya at Prayag, Allahabad, India, and on the Dashashvamedha bathing ghat of that holy city, the Lord instructed him continually.
Sometimes it is questioned that Sanatana Goswami paid the money in black market. Yes, actually he paid. When the Hussain Shah Nawab imprisoned him, he was minister, the superintendent of jail. He was working under him, he was minister. So, the Sanatana Goswami requested him that I had done so many times your benefit, so you do me one benefit, you let me go. You let me go. Wow, and imprison me. That's not required. So I'm going to be a pig, because the Muslims, they respect very much the pig. So actually he was going to be pig. They renounce the family life and become Goswami. So I am sacrificing my life for God. And you just help me in this service. And not only that, you get some material profit also. I have got this. First of all he offered 5,000. Then he offered 10,000. In this way it was settled. And the superintendent of jail let him go. And he inquired from Sanatana Goswami what I shall explain to the Nawab when he will ask me explanation, call for explanation. We are going. So he gave him a trick that formerly people used to evacuate on the field. So he was imprisoned, so he wanted to evacuate in the field, and the superintendent jail was accompanying him. In this way, a fabricated story, and he told that when he was evacuating, immediately he jumped over the river. And the river's waves were so strong, he was carried away. I could not find. So in this way, Sanatana Goswami escaped after bribing. Now the question is whether this kind of black marketing, bribing is required for spiritual life. And the answer is that everything is required, provided you can satisfy Krishna. This is the thing. According to time, circumstances, the dealing, just like Arjuna, in the battlefield, there was fighting, and Krishna is advising Yudhishthira that you go and tell Dronacharya that your son Ashwatthama is dead. Krishna is advising to speak lie. And Yudhishthira hesitated. How can I speak lie? I never spoke lie in my life. So, the idea is that our dealings in the ordinary, when there is fighting, in fighting they take all means, all propaganda, all means, you know that. fighting. The aim is how to own victory. Although there are so many international laws, and they don't care for it. Just like bombing. Bombing, sometimes the opposite party, they keep soldiers and the Red Cross over. Because Red Cross is not bombed according to international. But they get information and they bomb also. These are common practice. Just like in India, the Hindu-Muslim fight, the Muslims are keeping weapons within the mosque. You know that. Everyone knows. So, there are so many international laws of the fighting, but when there is necessity, they neglect all international law and they take advantage. So then I have heard from a very reliable officer, Mr. MacPherson, in Allahabad. He was my, at that time I was keeping a drug shop, so he was my customer. And when he was coming, he was talking with me, many past stories of the war. So once he narrated, he was also one of the commanders, that in the first martial force, he was in the Second World War or First World War.
First expeditionary.
Martial force. He was in charge of the French center. So, the Belgium, there are many refugees from Belgium, mostly women and children. So they came to France, and in charge was Marshal Foch. So this Mr. MacPherson, he told me that we are officers who informed that so many refugees have come from Belgium. What to do? Then Marshal Foch became very angry. He became very, what can I do in this battlefield? So it was ordered that they should be killed. So actually it so happened that all these women and children, they were assembled together, and 4 guns from 4 sides were blown up. Their own alliance, not alliance, what is called? Allies. So these things take place in war. Sometimes there is no international law, no humanitarian. Everything goes on, everything. Similarly, the point is that as people act, hooks and crooks, everything, for satisfying their senses, gaining some material profit. Similarly, if need be, everything can be accepted for Krishna's service. Everything can be accepted. Otherwise, how Sanatana Goswami is driving? How Krishna is advising Yudhishthira to speak lies? There is a verse, Mannimitte kritam papam punnaiva kalpate. Sometimes it appears that this is a sinful act, but if it is done for Krishna, our bhakti is anukulyena Krishnanusila. We have to satisfy Krishna. Krishna is asking me to tell lies. Yes, I shall tell lies. That is bhakti. If I consider, I have never spoken lies in my life, how can I speak lies? That is not bhakti. Because it is pratikul, against the desire of Krishna. Common people cannot understand this. They will be saddened why one candle is not burning. Get it? You see? They think, Krishna is teaching, Yudhishthira is such a nice man, he's a religious person, and is teaching him to speak lies. Avajananti mang mudha manasintaniyo. if sometimes one thinks like that, he becomes moved up. When Karna was repairing the wheel of his chariot, Krishna asked Arjuna, kill him immediately. Kill him. And Karna protested, Arjuna, what you are doing? I am not in fighting now. So Krishna said, no, this is the time, otherwise he will not be able to kill him. This is the time. This is the opportunity to kill him. Because Karna was greater hero than Arjuna. Dronacharya, Bhishma, that is explained by Parikshit Maharaj. There is a battlefield of this type of ocean, and there are big, big crocodiles, animals, like Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna. But by the grace of Krishna, my grandfather was able to kill them. Arjuna was not so strong that he could kill Bhishma, Dronacharya, Karna. They are better heroes. So, these things are there. There are many instances, just like gopis. At dead of night, when Krishna's flute was there, they left their husband, left their father, left their brothers, children, everything and everything. Now, according to our Vedic system, young girls, young women, leaving the protection of father, brother or superiors and going in the forest for another boy, it is very sinful. Socially, it is sinful. And Krishna instructed them, what you have done? You go back immediately. And they began to cry. That this description is there. So, now, from the social point of view, this is sin. This is sin when the gopis went to Krishna. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj was standing without any protest, and his father is being killed. Now, can any sane man see that his father is being killed and is standing silent without any protest? And Bali Maharaj, he rejected his spiritual master. When Shukracharya said that don't promise, he is Vishnu, he will take everything of you. Don't promise anything. Bali Maharaj said, he is Vishnu, and you are asking me not to promise to him? Oh, I don't want such spiritual master. I reject it. To reject spiritual master is a great sin. So these are, from the social point of view, from religious point of view, these are illegal, sinful activities. To reject one's spiritual master, to see one's father being killed in one's presence, one woman is going to another boy at dead of night, superficially, they are sinful activities. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends, Ramya Akashit Upasana Bhajavadhu Bhargavija Kalvika. There is no upasana, method of worship, as it was conceived by the gopis in first class. So, the point is that superficially it may appear sometimes against the social and religious rules and regulations, but if it is done for Krishna, Anukulya. Bhakti means Anukulyena Krishna Anusaya. Krishna should be satisfied. That is, it doesn't matter. Krishna should be satisfied. Just like Krishna pretended that he was sick and many physicians came. He said, no physician cure me. If some devotee gives me the dust of his feet on my head, then I can be cured. So all devotees were asked, nobody, can I give my dust on the head of Krishna? How it is possible? Nobody prepared. Then Krishna asked, go to Vrindavan. Just ask the gopis if they can give. They are my best friends, if they are prepared. I am very much suffering from headache. So nobody were prepared to go. As soon as gopis are approached, oh, Krishna is sick, they want our dust-up. Please. Please take. Since they did not care that we are going to hell by offering our dust-up feet on the head of Krishna, never mind, we shall go. Krishna will be happy, that's all. Krishna will be happy. This is all. It doesn't matter, the whole world is going to hell, but Krishna is satisfied, the devotee is prepared to do that. That is called Uttama Bhakti. Anukullena Krishnana Siranam Bhakti Uttama. You will find this Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu. Annavilasita-sunnam. Not to make business with Krishna. I shall be devotee of Krishna provided my everything is all right, adjusted. I shall not be sinful, I shall not do this, I shall not do my family will be kept nicely. All these conditions, as people go to Vrindavan, all the money distributed, and there are many persons, and sons and grandsons are ordered that you send me 200 rupees per month, and all the 2 crores of rupees, that is for you. That is for you. That is not for Krishna. And simply for my eating, you send me 200. There are many, you know. So, Krishna is also very, the 2 crores of rupees he earned, so with hard labor, that is kept for your children. And you have come here with empty hand. And for your food, 200 rupees. So, Jijathamam prapadanti tam sathaiva mayammo. No. The first principle is that one should be prepared to sacrifice everything for Krishna. Everything. It doesn't matter. My faith, my honor, my money, my prestige, doesn't care. Krishna must be satisfied. Just Arjuna did. Arjuna didn't like to fight, to kill on the other side, his brother, his grandfather. No. But when he understood, no, Krishna wants it. Yes, Karishe Vachanam. That's all right. This is Krishna. No consideration for anything else. Simply to satisfy Krishna. Satisfy Krishna, Krishna is repentive, the same thing. That is bhakti. Annavilasita-sunnam jnana karmadhanabhitam. Jnana, it should not be tinged by jnana. This is jnana. Oh, I am going to speak lie, I will go to hell. I am going to kill my grandfather, I will go to hell. This is called jnana, knowledge. But the definition is jnana karma anabhritam. It should be untouched by jnana and karma. Untouched. Yes. So, this is pure. Annavilasita-sunnam jnana karma. The gopis, they are not jnanis. They are ordinary village girls. What jnana they have? No jnana, no karma. They did not know what is karma, what is sacrifice. No, they did not know. So, we should be prepared to sacrifice everything without any consideration of jnana or karma, yoga. No. We have to see whether Krishna is satisfied. Sanusthhitasya dharmasya samsiddhi paripos. That is perfect. Samsiddhi paripos. Whether Krishna is satisfied. So people have no information what is Krishna and what to speak of satisfying. Who was speaking that Giriraj, when he was talking to Mr. Mohta, every man, so-called nowadays scholars, they have no, idea what is God, what is Krishna, and where to speak of satisfying him. But bhakti means that a bhakta is always ready to sacrifice everything to satisfy Krishna. But if one has no idea what is Krishna, then where is bhakti? For the impersonalists, there cannot be any bhakti, because they have no information of Krishna. They do not know what is Krishna. And bhakti means satisfaction of Krishna. If I know the person, if I know what is his nature, then I can know also how to satisfy him. If you have no information of any person, then where is the question of satisfaction?
Lord particularly instructed Rupa Goswami on the science of Krishna consciousness.
So here the point is that Sanatana Goswami, the Vidhas says, he was so mad after meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he, whatever money he had with the banker, village banker, and even it was sinful to bribe, he didn't care for it. He wanted, he resigned his service as minister. Therefore he was imprisoned. Now to get out of the prison house, he bribed. He was so much ecstatic. There is a verse, just now for you, that this low, this is called low. Low means just like we become very much greedy in achieving some success or receiving something sometimes. We become mad. That is equal. Low ekamullam. To achieve Krishna consciousness perfectly, this ecstatic eagerness or greediness to serve Krishna, that is the only prize to achieve success in devotion. That is the only prize. Not money, not anything, not prestige, not good parentage, not beauty, nothing. Simply this ecstatic, intense desire. How I shall get Krishna? That is Krishna. Simple. That is the example of the gopis. Intense desire. Tatran laulam ekamullam. Na janmakoti, nalabhate janmakoti visukriti. This ecstatic desire, that this life I shall get recognition by Krishna, that I have sacrificed everything for Krishna. This is the one. God.
These teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada are narrated in our book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Later, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada elaborated the teachings of the Lord with profound knowledge of revealed scriptures and authoritative references from various Vedic literatures. Srila Srinivasa Acharya describes in his prayers to the 6 Goswamis that they were all highly learned scholars, not only in Sanskrit, but also in foreign languages such as Persian and Arabian. They very scrutinizingly studied all
and the English language was compulsory during the British rule, during Mohammedan rule. At least all big officers, there are many Hindu big officers, they had to learn Arabian and Persian language. So these Goswamis, because they are ministers, they are learned, highly learned scholars in Arabic and Persian language.
They very scrutinizingly studied all the Vedic literatures in order to establish the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the authorized principles of Vedic knowledge. The present Krishna consciousness movement is also based on the authority of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. We are therefore generally known as Rupanugas, or followers in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. It is only for our guidance
Rupanuga Baraya. Rupanuga, followers of Rupa Goswami. We, Gauriya Vaishnava, we follow the instruction of the Narottam Das Thakur says in his song, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoive Yakuti Kabe Hama Bhujama Se Jugala Piriti. Jugalapiriti, the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna, it is not to be understood by a third-class man. It is not possible. If one thinks Krishna is ordinary human being, Radharani is ordinary girl, then it is not possible. One has to understand Krishna and Radharani through the bhakti literature of this Goswami. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupo Raghunatho Pade Hoive Akut, eagerness. When I shall try to understand Jugalapiriti, the conjugal love of Radha Krishna, through the literature of Rupa Raghunath. Rupa Raghunath means there are 6 Goswami, begins from Rupa Goswami, ends with Raghunath. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath. There are 2 Raghunaths, one Bhatta Raghunath, one Das Raghunath. So, Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghunatho Pade Haive Akuti, Kobe Hamabhi. To understand Radha Krishna and their love affairs, one has to understand through the literature given by Rupa Goswami. That's like the Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu, nectar of devotion.
It is only for our guidance that Srila Rupa Goswami prepared his book in Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu, which is now presented in the form of the Nectar of Devotion. Persons engaged in the Krishna consciousness movement may take advantage of this great literature and be very solidly situated in Krishna consciousness. Bhakti means devotional service. Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. Every one of us within this material world...
Without some attractive feature, nobody is interested. Just like we are talking here about Krishna Bhakti, but people in general, they are not very much attracted to Krishna Bhakti. So, they do not care to come. So there must be some attractive feature. Otherwise, so different people have got different attractive features. Therefore Krishna says, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya jatatam abhisiddhyanam kaschid mam vetita. This attraction for Krishna can be developed in the association of devotees. Satan Krishna. Automatically nobody is attracted for Krishna. The whole world is like that. That the Krishna consciousness movement means to give these people a chance to associate with devotees and thus become attracted to Krishna. That is required. Maya saktamana pratul yogam janman madasya. Maya to become attracted by Krishna. Krishna means attractive. Krishna. Akarsati. Krishna means attractive. It's like magnetic stone, attractive. Naturally, the iron. But the iron, if it is rusty, it cannot attack. It cannot attack. Similarly, Krishna is attractive, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are also attracted by Krishna. But because we are now covered by the Maya rust, we are not attracted. This Maya rust has to be polished, then we will get it. Otherwise Krishna is attractive. Krishna means attractive.
Every one of us within this world is perpetually engaged in some sort of service, and the impetus for such service is the pleasure we derive from it.
Yes, we cannot work unless we derive some pleasure. Just like in the Ahmedabad, the dramatic performance, he was killing animals, and he was attracted by killing them. The butchers, I have seen in Calcutta, I was passing through, one hotel man was cutting the throat of a chicken, and the chicken was, after being cut the throat, it was jumping like anything, and he was laughing. He was taking place. It was for me so horrible, but he was taking very nicely. This half-cut chicken is jumping. And his son was crying. And he was asking, why you are crying? Why you are crying? So it is the question of different qualities. One is attracted and one he finds they are detracted. Go on.
Driven by affection for his wife and children, a family man works day and night. A philanthropist works in the same way for love of the greater family, and a nationalist for the cause of his country and countrymen. That force which drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called rasa, or in kind
that attractiveness is called rasa, mellow, taste.
Or a kind of mellow, or relationship whose taste is very sweet. Bhakti-rasa is a mellow different from the ordinary rasa enjoyed by mundane workers. Mundane workers labor very hard, day and night, in order to relish a certain kind of rasa, which is understood as sense gratification. The relish or taste of the mundane rasa does not long endure, and therefore mundane workers are always apt to change their position of enjoyment. A businessman is not satisfied by working the whole week. Therefore, wanting a change for the weekend, he goes to a place where he tries to forget his business activities. Then, after the weekend is spent in forgetfulness, he again changes his position and resumes his actual business activities. Material engagements means accepting a particular status for some time and then changing it. This position of changing back and forth is technically known as bhoga tyaga, which means
bhoga tyaga. Bhoga and tyaga.
Which means a position of alternating sense enjoyment and renunciation.
Yes, their position is sense enjoyment. If by bhoga they are not satisfied, then tyaga, brahma sattva jagan mithya, give it up. Against by tyaga, when he does not find any sense pleasure, then again comes back. All right, come to social service, open hospital, open school. Well, why you are coming again? You have given it up. Tyaga, brahma sattva jagan mithya. Why you are coming to mithya again, to open school? That is going on. That is going on. Sometimes this is brahma jagan mithya. Everything is mithya. And Brahma is sattva, aham brahmasmi. But when they cannot get Brahma, cannot realize Brahma, then again come to this bhoga. Bhoga, pendulum. Bhoga, tyaga. Bhoga, tyaga. Bhoga, tyaga. You know that pendulum? What? Stop, 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 stop. Bhoga, tyaga. Bhoga, tyaga. So, our policy is not bhoga tyaga. Our policy is satisfaction of Krishna. That is pure bhakti. Anna vilasita sannam jnana karmadhanavritam anukullena krishnanushiranam bhakti yuttama sarvapadhi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti yuttama.